Thank you, Madam President. I thank Madam Kag for her briefing about the implementation of her mandates as stipulated in Resolution 2720. To facilitate humanitarian aid access to the Gaza Strip despite facing multiple challenges and obstacles in her endeavor. Yes, over 200 days of ongoing aggression against Palestinian people in Gaza, and we are still discussing access to basic needs, basic human needs, such as access to food, water, and sanitation, let alone access to education, housing, and health, which has become a luxury for the entire population in Gaza. Madam Kag's mission of expediting humanitarian aid delivery to Gaza civilian population is crucial. However, more than 4 months after Resolution 2720 adoption, despite Madam Kag and her team's efforts to establish a UN mechanism for accelerating humanitarian relief in Gaza, this call remains unanswered, and the mandate not fully implemented. The international community, particularly member states with influence on the occupying power, should make every effort to help Madam Kag fulfilling her mandate and ensuring she succeed is collective responsibilities, not just one person's duty. Madam President, we firmly believe successful humanitarian aid in Gaza depends on the following. First, obviously, an immediate and lasting ceasefire. Safe humanitarian action throughout Gaza cannot be ensured without a ceasefire. The past 6 months clearly indicated this. As said by Sharon Donnelly, an International Rescue Committee Senior Vice President operating in Gaza, what's increasingly clear is that the deconfliction process is a fiction. It doesn't provide any guarantees of safety. Only a cessation of hostility can help meeting civilian population needs. Otherwise, humanitarian actors will deliver aid at risk of their lives. Second, unhindered humanitarian access. This requires opening all crossing possible and using them at full capacity. According to the occupying authorities, since October 7, only 40% of the minimum required basic needs were allowed into Gaza. After killing, I should say assassinating, humanitarian workers from the World Central Kitchen, the occupying authorities made a lot of publicity on their decision to reopen Erez crossing. However, according to the UN, until last Friday, only 25 trucks were authorized to use Erez crossing. Yes, 25 trucks. The international community, including powerful countries, seems to be incapable of forcing the occupying power to adhere to its obligations under international humanitarian law. Airdrops, a last resort solution, became the only option, but represent only 0.3 of total aid delivered to Gaza. The maritime corridor was undermined before providing tangible result. Our strong belief is that there is no alternative to land routes. All crossing must be reopened now. Third, UNRWA. UNRWA irreplaceable role. This agency has been and continue to be the backbone of humanitarian delivery in Gaza. It should operate freely without threat. After Madame Colonna's report, there is no more need to further debate UNRWA's credibility and efficiency. The report stated that UNRWA possesses a more developed approach to neutrality than other similar UN agencies or NGOs entities. And state again, Israel has yet to provide supporting evidence of its allegation against UNRWA's personnel. As Madame Colonna's report indicated, even those agencies rely on UNRWA that retain its central and irreplaceable role of providing a platform and, in many cases, infrastructure for these specialized activities. UNRWA must be empowered again and allowed to operate across Gaza, including the north, as famine risk looms. Fourth, resuming commercial activities. Resuming commercial activities, no matter how large and efficient humanitarian assistance is imperative, but require two main conditions. First, ending the siege imposed by the occupying authorities. Second, launching a vast cash transfer program to help revive Gaza's local market. Starting such an operation is crucial. Fifth, no ground offensive in Rafah. We warn again against any military action in Rafah. Such an offensive should not be allowed under any circumstances. 1.5 million Palestinians are crammed into Rafah, which has become the humanitarian hub of Gaza. The survival of Gaza's entire population depends on situation on this city. A ground offensive would leave people with no choice but to flee to Egypt. It will not be only a humanitarian catastrophe, but an irreversible breach of peace and security, not just in the region, but beyond. Madam President, Gaza's catastrophic situation is a betrayal for humanity and a test for the international order and our multilateral system. This is not a natural disaster. It is a human-made disaster. And we bear the responsibility. The international community must ensure implementation of ICJ orders and Security Council resolutions. Failure is not an option. The occupying power that causes death and desperation wherever it goes cannot continue to dictate the rules. This catastrophe must be ended. I thank you.